My name is Erickson Manzano. I'm a licensed real estate broker. I'm with Remax Capital. Today, I'm here in Casubi or Calatagan South Beach in Batangas. And I'm excited to speak with my brother Erickson, who's the president and CEO of Landco Pacific Corporation. So, Kuya, how long have you been with Lanco?
I just joined 2015.
Did you ever see yourself becoming a CEO of a real estate company?
Well, the short answer is no. Well, whatever this is all a surprise to me. So yeah, I didn't envision this, but I'm happy to take it.
Okay.
Well, it's been fun, no? Because the good thing about being CEO is you could mold the culture of the company the way you want to. So I'm quite fortunate that I'm able to do that. So I'm quite happy where I am.
So I'm just curious, if you weren't a CEO, what would you be doing?
Well, okay. There was a fork in my life before na I had the opportunity to work in Canada back in 2000. I had an offer there in Montreal, and then I had another offer as a manager of Land to come back. I decided to come back. I've always wondered how my life would have turned out if I took that job in Montreal. But absolutely no regrets, so I still wonder. So I don't know, maybe if I wasn't the CEO of Landco, probably I'd be a manager somewhere in the US or Canada. Or maybe a VP in some other development company, or
still in real estate.
This is
okay.
Yeah, well, basically, I've started working since '92. All I've done since 1992 is construction and real estate. That's all I've done. That's all I know how to do. So, if not here in Landco, I'd be doing this thing somewhere else.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah, I'm
in the
happy
Philippines.
Yes, I'm happy then. Then, frankly, I lived in Canada for about 6 months. When I was in school there, nothing beats living here in the Philippines. If you're a Filipino, this is I'd rather be here than anywhere else. The Philippines.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised when some of my friends would opt to go to another country and work when there's a lot of opportunity in the Philippines.
Yeah, well, that's true. Especially now. I remember when I was in high school, the in thing then was to be able to migrate to the US.
Or getting the US citizenship.
Yeah, that was the if you got a US citizenship or you moved to the US, you were hip. Well, back then, kasi the Philippines was a basket case talaga in Asia. But now things are picking up here, and you could really have a good life here, surrounded by family and friends. That's how you spend your life talaga.
Can you describe the best moment of your life you'd like to relive?
There are a lot of moments. Okay. This was a fun weekend. This was a fun weekend. Then, I was thinking about that question. And when I look back, ano yung mga gusto kong relive? It usually had a lot to do with our family. When we were all in Hong Kong, when we were all in Maldives, when we were all in Israel, when we were all here just this weekend. When I think of things that I wanted to go back to, it's us. This was a fun weekend, and I'm happy na at least that dad and si mom were able to join us. So those are the things that I wanted to relive. Us as a family together, and then traveling somewhere. That's the most fun. Us as a family travel abroad. This year now we were supposed to go abroad because of the laptop. But I mean, what we did yesterday, diba? Maybe you could tell your audience what we did yesterday. You can't do that. I can't, diba? I can't imagine where we could do that anywhere in the world. That was really fun yesterday. That was a first even for me.
What makes you think?
I think it's really our upbringing. It's really our upbringing. I'll tell you an example. So back in '92, my very first job was as a consultant, as a structural engineer. My first salary was 3,040 pesos a month. That was back in '92. And that's gross of tax pa. So you take out the tax, you're left with the take-home pay of mga 2005 less, no? That was my take-home pay in 1992. And now I work in the engineering construction industry. And I'm not saying that this happens to all, pero in that industry, especially if you're just a beginner in that industry, people offer you stuff. People offer you stuff without even asking. A specific example, for example, elevator bidding. Contractors would come to you and say, make us win, we'll give you 2% of the contract without you asking. So it's a very dirty industry. Now, one of the proudest things that I am of in my life, I have never taken a peso that I did not rightfully earn. I have never been a part of any shady deal whatsoever. People could try to throw mud at me, but nothing will stick. That was really because of your upbringing. What stopped me then? I know, kumbaga, if news of that came out, it would break Dad's heart. Diba? Ganun. So that's why from a young age, I stayed away talaga from those things. So I was very conscious. It would break yung heart ni Dad and Mom. You couldn't corrupt me when I was earning 3,000 pesos a month. Diba? I mean, I'm not about to start now. So I think it's really the upbringing. There's a lot of things I remember kay Dad, especially now that I'm older. Now I remember before nung young ako, of course, parang everybody goes through yung being young. And then I'd tell si Dad sometimes I did something, and then he'd tell me, ba't ka natutuwa na nakakalamang ka sa iba? Ganun. Dad would tell, di ba? Ano magaling dun na nakalamang ka sa iba? Ganun. And I was young pa nun. And then yung mga things na yun, ewan ko, somehow I carried with me until itong age to. Ngayon ako na, if I wanted to go crazy, I can't kasi parang this is who I am na ngayon, di ba? And it's really because of yung upbringing natin. We're lucky to have, our dad and moms, our parents. So I think, it's really just the upbringing. We're all different, but I'd credit, it's siguro 90% of who I am ngayon because of our parents.
What makes you happy naman?
Ganito. It's different depending on your age. And ako, I remember when I was your age, you're in your 30s, I was afraid of growing old. I didn't want to grow old. But I'm telling you now, I'm 50. I love this age. I love being 50. Parang, you're sure of yourself. You know who you are. You have nothing to prove. And you look back at your life, of course, parang may mga things I did before na makes me cringe ngayon. Pero at this age, you have a lot of time to think what's important in your life. And then, as you get to my age, yung family becomes really important. Yung family becomes really important. So yung traveling family, bring you guys sa mga places na I like, para na you get to enjoy. When I was earning 3,000 a month back in 92, literally, and you could ask my office mate, you could even ask your dad, I literally slept in the office. Parang, I would go home in the weekends just to do laundry. Tapos I would literally live in the office. We would put together the chairs. And that's where we would sleep. There was too much work. See Dad when I was young, he was telling me, di ba, parang just do your best. Don't look at yung money. Look at the company and what you will learn. And just do your best. Yung money will come later. See Dad told me that. Kaya yun, even if I was earning 3,000 a month, I never complained. I loved it kasi I learned a lot. I was learning so much no? So, kita mo, I mean, those working experiences has made me who I am today. So it's not yung money na yung my boss is a slave driver. Hindi, I'm learning these new things. And that thing I learned from Dad. Family, I actually enjoy these times now. We do. Siguro have a different way of showing it lang. I'm not very, except siguro kay Justin, but I'm not very showy type. Pero I enjoy, having you guys around. Well, my number one passion talaga is really traveling, and so that's why if I see a new place, if I can afford it, I'd bring you guys there, So, traveling is really, I think I've had a lot of hobbies growing up. Pero itong traveling, even at this age na parang I'm kind of self-assured na it's still my favorite part. Traveling talaga. the world is awesome. The world is beautiful.
Yung management style mo, how would you describe it?
Sige, I know it's cliche to say na I lead by example. It's cliche, but I really do it. Like, firstly, I will never ask anyone from my team to do something that I will not personally do. If I wouldn't tell my manager do this if I wouldn't do it myself. So it's like that. I'm very particular about corporate culture kasi in my mind, you would find these brilliant but obnoxious people that are difficult to work with. So I think your management style ko is you have to be very open kasi you don't know everything. You have to be very open to ideas. I was telling my team actually some of my friends. So for example, if you're the boss and your managers can tell you that parang, sir, I think it's the wrong approach, we should do this. If your team can tell you that openly without fear of retribution, that's a healthy environment, no? And that's what that's what we have established in Lanco, no? I can't count the times na parang, I've changed my decision because of mga comments from the team. So I run a very open team na, I want my key people talagang, I want them to see their soul in our development. Like for example, this is a kaso we have a project director here, si TJ. He has a lot of freedom to do here what he wants. Of course, he runs it by me then. Pero this is his project. I want him to be proud of it. I want him to see his soul in this project. So it goes with the rest of the team. I want everyone to be proud of what they do. So
you're also empowering them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And siguro the best thing to do, that's, I don't know, maybe ask my teammates how they feel. But yeah, I do believe in empowerment, and I firmly believe that that's how I run the team. Everyone has a voice. We make decisions on who has the best data, on who has the best argument. It's not about rank. No? So whoever has the best data and the best argument wins the argument. It's not about rank. And I'm quite proud of that because some of the companies that I've been to weren't like that. And I've learned a lot. Funny thing is, you learn more from the bad stuff, from failures. You learn a lot more. You learn very little from success.
That's true.
Yeah. So from the mistakes, and I've gone through a lot. So I think I have that benefit. So I kind of know what works and what doesn't. Today it's a Sunday. My team would text me, would ask me questions. I never turn away anything. Sometimes even if it's a stupid question, I'll never say that's a stupid question. I'll say it in a kinder way. Pero yeah, everyone's open. Everyone can approach me, and that's not lip service. Yung open door policy ko, that's for real.
Who's the person you admire the most?
No cliche answer. It's that. It's that. I've never met a more honorable man, and I'm quite appreciative because just a few days ago I was telling my friend. He came from the province that was used to shine shoes. He was able to graduate from UP. He had one job for the rest of his career. He was like employee number one of an engineering firm, and that's where he stayed until he retired. Look at our lives. From that. And some people might say it's a conservative, nerdy life, but he sacrificed his own dreams para we could have ours. I appreciate that. These things you realize when you're older. Really, the older you get, the smarter your parents become. When you look back, good thing that they did this. I know it's cliche to say, but see dad's really my hero. I wish na siguro eventually I'd be half the man he is. He's fantastic. And mom's great. Mom's great. I'm not saying this because we're brothers. They're great. I appreciate my life because of them.
So far, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
In terms of career, it's really okay that when I was younger, kasi we weren't like this all our lives. No? There was a time we were not so great. Pretty much parang sila mom and dad, they had a lot of debt. So that's how we grew up. No, that's how we grew up. When you were born, sila mom and dad were okay na eh. Okay. So, si ate, me, and Manny, that's how we grew up. No? We weren't so well off before. Of course, no, you grew up like that. You'd want to have more. You'd want to have more. And I think si dad saw it. Kasi mom and dad saw it in me. Na parang I was after the money kaagad. No? And so, basically, dad told me, I mean, don't look at life that way, Look at the company and what you will learn. Your money doesn't matter in the beginning. Even if somebody offers you a big twice the salary, look at the company. Will you grow there? Will you learn? So that's what he told me. Diba? Look at the company and what you will learn, and do your best, and your money will come after. That is the best advice I've ever gotten. That's what I've done. So if you look back at the companies I've worked for, they're all the biggest companies. Diba? I never worked for mga small companies because I wanted to learn yung mga systems, how they do things. I wanted to learn how it is to do something excellent. So I follow that advice. I think that's the best advice in terms of your career. In terms of my personal life naman, I don't know, it's not an advice. Kasi in terms of my personal life, the question is basically, people ask you parang, oh, what's your job? What do you do? Ganun. But nobody really asks you if you're happy. And ako yun, as growing up, that becomes more important di ba? I mean, regardless of all these, jonesing, peacocking, the question is, are you happy? And that's what I applied in sa personal life ko, And then, so, when I turned 50, my gift to myself is I jumped off the bandwagon now. I've stopped jonesing, because it never ends. I'm 50 now, no? When I turn 50, that's my gift to myself. I'm jumping off the bandwagon. I'm not jonesing anymore. I'm gonna buy things I like. Diba? I don't care what people think.
Okay.
Because personally, well, to admit it, before that, sometimes you buy stuff
to
impress people. Yeah. So, well, true, no? You buy stuff to impress other people. Do whatever makes you happy. So long as you don't, take advantage of anyone else. No? Yeah.